Hello, everyone, and welcome to the doomtombpodcast. My name is Chris. I am your host, and I wanted to get this quick episode out. I've tried doing year-end reviews a few times. I don't know. I just don't like the way it sounds. I don't like the way it comes out. I can't quite figure out what it is, so I'm just going to go a little bit quicker and just go over some points for what's going to happen in 2020. First off, one thing. So we've been doing this for about 2 years now, and a lot of great things have come about it. I've met a numerous amount of people in the scene that are just fantastic, and they help forward it each and every day. So with that, I'm going to ask you all a favor. What do you like about this program? What don't you like? What could be improved? I'll take any criticism, a compliment, whatever. It doesn't matter whether it's good or bad. What guests do you want? Do you have a connection to any guests? Whatever it is. What questions have I not asked that you want to hear? What questions are you tired of hearing? Doesn't matter. Whatever it is. So how do you get this to me? Send an MP3. I mean, it's really super simple by now. You could do it on your smartphone and send it. doomtombpodcast@gmail.com. You can also send it through Dropbox at doomtombpodcast@gmail.com. Very simple, very easy. Let me know. Send me a quick MP3. I don't care if you're a fan, a band, it don't matter. Send me something. Now, if no one sends me anything, that's perfectly fine. I just won't air anything. But if people send me something, I'm going to air it on a future podcast, just like a kind of a rundown. And I can't think of a better way to engage the fans and to bring the fans into this, because they've been so gracious and so kind with everything that they have said so far. You know, you get some negative bullshit every once in a while. I figure it's going to happen. But overall, everybody's been fantastic. Also, merchandise. I have some merchandise ready. I'm going to have some more merchandise coming up soon. What do you want? I know I've got some dugouts made, some koozies made. I'm having some flags made, like tapestries. And I don't know. I guess, you know, I mean, the simple thing is T-shirts. What are you looking for? What interests you? Let me know. Also, I was thinking, I'm not quite sure, but I might just start a Patreon. You know, it takes a bit to run this, and, you know, I've been floating it as long as I can, and I'll continue to float it, but maybe I'll get a Patreon just to cover maybe the cost of running it each and every month. Also, this is, it's the one thing that came out of this, this podcast project that I really am so excited about, and that is Planet Mammoth. That is going to be in Tempe, Arizona at Yucca Tap Room, February 21st through 23rd. There's a bunch of bands, 24 bands in total, 3 days, plus so much more. I know we're going to have some vendors there, and it's going to be something that needed to be done in Arizona and hasn't yet. Or, well, at least hasn't been done here for a long, long time. And it's time. It's completely time. So I'm just going to go through the list of a few of the episodes. And if I can remember anything really different, I'm gonna share that with you right now. Starting with Ruby the Hatchet. We did that at the Lunchbox in Phoenix, Arizona. I wish they had more shows for this genre. It's a great spot. They redid it. It has great sound. It has great lighting. I just don't know why they don't bring more bands of this genre. But either way, Ruby the Hatchet crushed it. I know every time we tried to start the interview, another band would start. That's cool. It happens. Ruby the Hatchet were fantastic. Just loved hanging out with them. Hung out until we had to actually leave the building. Dixie Dave from Weed Eater, another great episode that I didn't think it was even going to happen. He was not feeling all that hot. His voice was a little shot, so I figured maybe I could just get a promo, saying, hey, you're listening to the Doom Tomb. And I was about to put all my equipment away, and he said he was cool to do an interview. So thank you so much to Dixie Dave and Weed Eater. And I know that they're going back out on tour, which is fantastic. Did a two-parter with Black Magic Flower Power. What a great bunch of guys to hang out with. If you haven't heard that, go back and check out those episodes. And I also did an episode with them a long time ago with a previous band name. I think you know who it is. And you could check that out. That's way back in, I think the single digits. That was an interesting night. There was a protest about their show. Well, they said it was going to be a protest, but it really didn't. Nothing happened with it. But the people that were saying that they were going to show up didn't. And it went off without a hitch. It was a great show. The band was at the Rogue Bar, rest in peace. That was a last-minute interview, and I know that they're hunkered down right now. They're working on brand new material. The Munsons, shout out to those guys. It was a loud, crazy night that night at the Palo Verde Lounge. And I remember as I got everything set up, I didn't have my SD card, and they were gracious enough to let me borrow theirs. Howling Giant, got to do a phone interview with them before meeting them in person. They just they blew up last year with their last release. Great live band with probably the highest cymbals I have seen in a long time. When the Deadbolt Breaks, done at the Timeout Lounge in Tempe, Arizona. It was a long interview. We were all a little plastered. There was a fight that broke out at the bar. Crazy sick interview. If you get a chance, listen to it. You'll hear how dizzy we were. Wizard. Anytime they come through, man, they have carte blanche. They can get on this podcast anytime. They always got something great to bring to the table. I know they're working on new material. Last year, they put out that double album. It was fantastic through Curse Tongue Records. Check it out if you get the chance. Spliff Ripper, well, we'll just kind of go over that one. The Well, a great live. It was crazy. I was watching their set, loved it, and afterwards, when I re-listened to some of the material, I heard some background sounds that I didn't hear live. I thought it was a really interesting touch. And I know that The Well is going out back on tour now. Catch them if you can. And maybe I'll have some kombucha for them when they come by in February. If you're not sure what that means, check out the episode. The band Thra, that was done at Yucca Tap Room outside. We were sitting on the sidewalk. People were coming by yelling shit. It was a fun time. It was really really raw, bare bones. Thought it was fantastic. You could hear the descent into how much we were drinking. Check it out if you get the chance. Then I did a few spotlight episodes. I kind of quit it for a while because I didn't hear a whole lot of feedback. I might start it again if anybody is interested. There's always great music coming out. There's so much to listen to. And speaking of, let's go into the next band. Beira. That was done at Yucca Tap Room, and let's see. So with that, Christopher got kind of introduced to this guy, John, and next thing you know, John asked Christopher and the other band members of Mosara to try out for another bassist. So now he is also a bassist in Mosara, in addition to working with Beira. Go check out that interview if you get the chance. We got a few more spotlight episodes, then interviewed Mosara. This was just before Christopher joined the band. We did I was even thinking about updating this because I did a raw audio of one of their tracks, and now they have something out on Bandcamp. It is heavy, it is thick, it is sludgy. Check it out if you get the chance. Also, another band playing at Planet Mammoth. Had a few more spotlight episodes. Gone Cosmic, another interview from Canada. And I'm so grateful. If you've not heard the band Gone Cosmic and their latest release, go check it out. The voice that this woman has is just phenomenal. And the band just brings such a heaviness, and it's such a well-produced album. Go check it out if you get the chance. Howling Giant, I did an after show, just a quick interview saying, hey, what's up, what's shaking, what's going on. Kind of more to talk about their latest album that came out. Just a short interview after the show. I might want to do some more of those in 2020. That was, it's just a taste, so... get a chance if you get any chance. Just check that out. It's awesome. Stone Wolf, and then Lady Killer, and Oberon, Turbo Wizard, Bones of the Earth, Red Witch Johnny, all those bands. Thankfully enough, they were doing this festival in Florida. Not Florida. They were doing this festival in Texas. I'm sorry. I haven't had enough coffee yet. Hold on. Let me just take a sip of the coffee here. Oh, that's delicious. Everybody, they were all phone interviews, and really got to know some of the bands really, really well. Unfortunately, Lady Killer has taken their gloves off for a while. I don't know if they're on definite permanent hiatus. I'm not quite sure. I hope to hear some more music from them because they laid down a great interview, and I think there's more that they have to offer. And all the other bands, thank you so much. It was great. There's something even about like the Red Witch Johnny interview. As you're listening, if you listen to it, you could hear like the crickets in the background. It was, oddly soothing. I don't really know why, but I really enjoyed that. Next up is Mezzoa. Mezzoa, they played at, where were they? They were at Yucca Tap Room that night in Tempe. And we went back to Roger's house. And for those that aren't sure, I've interviewed a couple other bands over at Roger's house. And for those that don't know, Roger's a staple in the area. We love him to death. He's in the band Dead Canyon. He's been in a few other bands that you might have heard of. Graves at Sea? I don't know. Source? Great stuff. One of the band members... did not talk in the interview, and I would say you'll hear it, but you won't hear it. Check it out. We did a discussion back and forth on some Kiss albums. I think you'll like it. The band Sixes, another Planet Mammoth band. This, I got to give a big shout out to Stephen Cummings. It was awesome for him to give me his time. I know he was in between some stuff, and I believe just kind of moving into a house. Maybe he was doing some things. Took a great amount of time for me, and we got a great interview out of it. Check it out if you get the chance. The band Mortalis, I interviewed way back at Stoner Days and got to interview them for their latest release. They are based out of Texas, so I don't know how much farther they're going out from Texas, but if you're in the Texas state, specifically like Austin, Dallas, etc., hit them up, see where they're going to be playing. It's, I like what they're doing, and if you listen to the interview, you'll find out a little more about where their influences are, like a lot of the episodes, but still, they bring something else different to the table, really progressing the genre, in my estimation. We got a few more spotlight episodes. Holy Grove, Tempe, Yucca Tap Room, another, it was kind of quick, but we got our point across, we got everything out, and really appreciate that they took the time, because I know that they had to head out. No Burial, the Wizards of Pinball. If you haven't listened to this two-parter, sit down, grab a drink. It goes for a while. I learned a lot about these guys. I really want to go out to Chicago and just see what that scene is like, because if there is a band that could tell you a little bit about everything, it would be these guys. Highly suggest seeing them live. Their latest album's out. It is, if you haven't heard it yet, again, it's like there's this post-rock kind of genre. It is great stuff, and they are pinball wizards. So if you're in Chicago playing pinball somewhere, you probably see them there. Loinhammer. This is a crazy fun interview, man. Are we getting a theme here? A lot of fun interviews, a lot of good times, and that really speaks to the people in this scene. We can just chill, have a good time, shoot the shit, and that's a lot of what all this year was, and really fantastic bands to just, put their wares out, and I'm just really thankful for all of them. Loinhammer, Time Out Lounge, Tempe. We did a full Iron Maiden discussion. It was all over the place. We had a great time doing it. Check it out if you get the chance. Grail is, they have the distinct pleasure of being the youngest band that I've ever interviewed. They are on a fast track. They've got a release coming out this year sometime. They released a few tracks before. You can find it on Bandcamp. They are a band to watch. Get ready. They're going to be opening up Planet Mammoth, and I see some great things happening from those kids. Check them out if you get the chance. Nebula Drag, that was another band. They were at Tempe, the Time Out Lounge in Tempe, and it was a two-parter because we just had a lot to discuss. There was drunkenness and various other substances, and it was really telling. We had it was a great hang. We actually did it in a hotel room, and it was just like like going to dinner with a good friend and just hanging out and just talking. You won't want to miss it. Check it out if you get a chance. I had some quicker interviews with Lucifer and Secrets of Lost Empires. Lucifer, it was very quick, and just wanted to kind of say that their release was coming out, and finally, it's out digitally. Born Pissed. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. You'll hear the story of how they opened up for Method Man and Redman. Check it out if you get a chance. Secrets of Lost Empires. That's the first interview. I really want to go over more of the music, and I think we're going to grab an interview this weekend. We talked a lot about his art. And they're playing their first show in years at Rips in Phoenix, so maybe there's more to come. I don't know. And finally, Horseburner. These were like fast friends. We talked forever. Every time we thought we were going to be done, we brought up another topic, and it's just that same thing, It's like hanging out with a great friend and just talking. And that's the year. So thanks. Wow, I think that came out a little bit better than the rest of them. So again, if you have a comment, a suggestion, an idea, anything, send me an MP3. I'll get it on the podcast. I don't care. Is it good, bad, whatever? You hate my voice? Fantastic. You got something to say? Say it. I'll play it. Thank you so much for listening. We've got a bunch coming up. What do we got? We got Surf Through Death. I did an interview with Via Vengeance, and I'm going to add to it. That is actually happening this week. And then I have Alpaca coming out. And then what do we got? I think I have an interview with a band, Sun Below, coming up. And then the Secrets of Lost Empires interview, which will be more music-based. And then I got a bunch of feelers out to a bunch of different people that I think I just got to get on the phone and call them. So thanks a bunch. doomtombpodcast@gmail.com. Find us wherever you can on social media, Doom Tomb Podcast. Enjoy yourselves. Keep going to the shows. I know I'm going to see you at those shows. Buy that band merch, and don't forget to stay heavy.